Every year we say it, this is going to be the year, but maybe 2023 is the year that we win the cup. I'm going to say it every single year of my life, and I'm going to say it every year until it happens, but here's why this actually could be the year that the Leafs finally do it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Victoria and I talk about all things Toronto sports related from across the pond here in Scotland. And for today's chat, we are talking about why the Leafs can win the cup this year. I'm not saying they will, I'm not that bold, but I'm saying they can. And these are my thoughts on why that is the case. Now, even if they don't actually win the cup, I'd be really happy with them just getting out the first round this year, not gonna lie. I imagine a lot of other people feel the same way. However, a cup run should be possible with a team that has the strength that this one does. And yet every year we say this and we think that they're good enough and then they choke or bottle it when it really matters. But hopefully this season is the year that that all changes. One of my main reasons for this is that there is such a pressure put on the staff in the Leafs right now. So take Keith as coach. It's only his third year being an NHL coach, and with every season that's gone on, he has improved. I would definitely say he's been sort of learning each year as each year goes on. And so this year could be the time where this sort of comes to fruition and he actually sees some post-season results from all this learning that he's done over the last few years. I have a lot of faith in him as a coach. I really rate him. I think he's very good at what he does, and I really do think he has improved with each year. So hopefully this year, taking this team on, this might be the year that he actually gets to see some real success from his efforts. However, the real pressure is definitely on Dubas and Shanahan as GM and as president. Many people basically called for their heads last season with the first round exit, and I don't think they can really have a leg to stand on after another year in those posts without any success coming out of it. So realistically, this season is going to make or break their jobs, pretty much. Their jobs are on the line here, and if there's any reason for motivation and encouragement, it's certainly that your job is actually at risk here. This also could mean some sort of decisions and riskier choices that perhaps before might have been avoided, but now, because it's make or break, they might be taken this year. And I really think that sometimes when you put pressure on something, you get better results. And that could certainly be the case this year, as these guys literally have their jobs and their careers on the line now, because you really can't justify another year doing the same thing and having the same exit, despite having a team that is not in any sort of rebuild phase. Our team should be going further than they are. So you really can't justify another year in the same job with the same people doing those jobs without having any success come out of it post-season. So this truly will be a test for them this year. That pressure mounted on them might just push them to make slightly different decisions than they might have before, steer away from the safer options and take more risks, and this might just push the Leafs past that first round exit that they keep going through every single year. The second reason is definitely Austin Matthews, right? So we have a team with many stars in it, many high paid players and many players that are incredibly talented at what they do. But Austin Matthews is certainly the star player, and I don't think that's something that's really up for debate. His popularity is immense. He is breaking franchise records. He is like a fan favourite, including mine, obviously. But his time in Toronto is potentially ticking. He does only have 2 years left on his contract, and those 2 years have to be utilised to the best of his capabilities, because even though he's got all this under his belt, if he lets things slip now, his value is going to decrease. If he keeps going like this, he will be the highest paid player in the league, I don't doubt. I think that the Leafs will offer him something that is so high, it will be the highest in the league. But to make that value, he still has to perform really well over the next couple of years. This goes for other teams too, even if, God forbid, he weren't to stay at the Leafs. To get a better offer from another club, He needs to keep his value at the level that it's at right now or improve on it. And certainly getting a cup or even getting near a cup when you play for the Leafs would certainly add to your value significantly as a player whose contract is almost up. Now, I love Austin Matthews as a player and I really, really rate him, but sometimes when it gets to the postseason, I do see his performance drop quite a bit. Wasn't like that this year, but the year before I did notice that. And I just wonder if knowing you've got a restricted time left on your contract might give him that boost to just play even better than he has done already, which he's already so incredible that it sometimes doesn't seem like he can be better. But he probably can be. He's still young, he's got a lot of potential, he's still learning. So having that sort of motivation behind you, that's definitely a cause to play even better than you already are. I mean, he's an absolute insane player as it is, and he already would be one of the main reasons that the Leafs could go on a cup run, but take into consideration his contract, and I think you've got even more of a reason then. Next for me, in terms of why the Leafs might win the cup this year, is that the goaltending isn't quite as bad as people are making it out to be. Am I 100% satisfied with the goaltending? No, but at the same time you have to look at it from a different perspective. It shouldn't be worse than last year. As long as Murray stays healthy, which is a really important thing, it shouldn't be any worse than last year. The Campbell-Mrazek tandem was pretty abysmal last season. It was statistically one of the worst in the entire league. So even if Toronto only established average goaltending this year, it would still be a great improvement on what we had last season. And we still did well last season. We took Tampa to Game 7, but that little extra push of being an average, we could definitely go further than that. Goalies are sort of a voodoo thing anyway, and putting your bets and all your money into a larger name, someone like Fleury for example, people would have been more satisfied with that, but Fleury would come with his own risks too. He's a lot older than what Murray is. He's perhaps past his peak, he perhaps wouldn't have it anymore, and he perhaps wouldn't stay quite as healthy for us. Murray does have health issues, but he is also a veteran of the game while still remaining a youthfulness that other goalies don't have anymore. And as I said, although Campbell was great for us for periods last season, there were health issues there, the Mrazek contract was a disaster. So I think we need to give it a chance. It could go one of two ways. It could go really badly, but on the other hand, we might be really surprised and taken aback by how successful it might turn out to be. So the goaltending might actually be a real reason that we end up in a successful cup run this season. And finally, my sort of less logical reason for why the Leafs might win the cup this year is that the curse has to be lifted at some point. There is no way that this really long drought is going to go on forever, right? It's going to break at some point. So why can't that point be this season? Why can't that be the case? Sometimes you can analyse all the stats and analytics and logistics and data all you want, but sometimes hockey just defies all of that stuff. It is a sport, these are human beings that we're watching playing, and sometimes you need to take a step back from the numbers, the cups, the championships, all the statistics, and just say, you know what, sometimes a team just has it. And there's nothing to say that this year the Leafs won't have it, you know? They've got as good of a chance as what they probably could have. I know there was some controversy over contracts and choices, but really, the Leafs are a good team, they look good, they've got a real chance. And sometimes it's the mental block that they have to overcome. Sometimes that pressure from the media, from the fans, and from within the organisation itself, sometimes that is the main block to success. And so if this is the year that they can overcome that, they can get past that mental block, they can decide that, you know what, there is no curse. That's a load of nonsense. There is not a curse. We just choke at the wrong moment. Sometimes when that realisation hits, there might be a breakthrough and the first round exit will not be a thing this year. I love using stats and analytics as much as the next hockey fan, but sometimes you just have to believe in passion and you have to believe in the team that you've got in front of you, and you have to realise that part of it is up in the mind and that has to be overcome. And that's a sort of mindset perspective thing rather than signing players. You could sign all the best players in the league, but if there's a mental block there, you'll go nowhere. You could have Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Cale Makar, you could have Vasilevsky in goal, you could have all of that, but if there is some sort of barrier up mentally, it's pointless. There's no point having statistically good, high achieving players and not having the right perspective to go along with it. That is one of the most important things. And there's nothing to say that this won't be the year that the Leafs finally achieve that. So those are my reasons why I think the Leafs can and maybe will win the cup this year. There are a lot of what ifs, but it's sport, that's the fun of it. And I don't see any reason why you shouldn't get behind your team. You know, I know that I get slagged all the time for being like, this is the year. And then like, you know, years on, I'm still like, no, this is going to be the year. And I get that that's easy to sort of make fun of, but this is what you do, you support your team. If you choose your team, I really think that you need to stick with them through good and bad. And I'll be a Leafs fan for the rest of my life. Even if they never get past the first round in my lifetime, I'll still be here cheering them on every single season, because to me that's what it means to be a fan of a team, a true diehard fan of a team. So I truly think that the Leafs can win the cup this year, and I'm not going to believe otherwise until I see us getting put out post-season. But we've got a whole regular season to come first, but I thought this would be fun to do before the season actually starts. So let me know in the comments below, do you think the Leafs have got it this year? Do you think it's going to be another flop of a season? Do you think it's going to be another time where the regular season is really successful and then post-season hits and it's not so good? Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to check out all my other social medias. I will also link them down in the description box. And I am also still fundraising for sick kids in Toronto. I'll leave the link to donate to that down below as well. Please make sure, it's a great cause. If you've got anything to give, please make sure to donate. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I'm very grateful for all your support, and I'll be back with more hockey chats from across the pond soon. Bye, guys.